You know what? Y'all are gonna see my dirty, filthy makeup and I just don't care. Don't zoom in, don't you dare zoom in. I saw you move that camera down. Hey Allure, my name is Gigi Goode and I am gonna take you back in time to the 80s, one of my favorite eras for fashion, hair, makeup, what have you. And I'll take you every step of the way for my garage door 80s makeup look. Let's go, girls. First and foremost, I've already primed my skin because if you don't prime your skin, you're just aging a mile a minute, let me tell you. I'm gonna be using the Shiseido Synchro Skin Radiant Lifting Foundation. This one I love just because the coverage is fierce and you can see how obnoxiously large my sponge is because it just gets the job done 3 times as quickly. Today I'm gonna be showing you just like quintessential 80s garage door shadow. And if you don't know what that means, it's essentially just like treating your eyelid as a garage door of color and it's just like, boom, like baby blue, lashes to brow. I'm gonna be going in with the Fenty Beauty, what is this? Match Sticks for my contour. We just rub it on the points of our face that we want to blend in and kind of hollow out a little bit. So for me, that's the cheekbones and the temples. I'll run it under the jaw a little bit. Of course, on the sides of the nose, just to kind of pinch that in just a little bit. Once we have that and it looks bad, we start blending it out so that it looks good. Now we're gonna start going in with some concealer to brighten up the area. So I use 2 concealers. First one I'm gonna use is by One Size, and this I like because it is really easy to blend. That's just kind of going in to reshape the face. Under the eyes, under the contour, and then the light one, I'm gonna put just right on the inner corners of my eyes, and that, once I blend it out, is kind of gonna make it open the face up a little bit. It makes it just kind of awake, alert, ready to go if someone's gonna attack me, you know? So now that I am blended out and creaseless, I'm going to go ahead and take my powder. It's by Fenty Beauty. Oh, it's about to get dusty in here, just so y'all know, because I pack it on. Just packing powder underneath the eye. As I do my under eye, I also pack it on top of the eyelid. And you get kind of your T-zone first with the powder, just because that's the place that's gonna crease. On the lip, over the nose, everywhere. Just set it everywhere. Set it and forget it, mama. So now that we've got our base pretty much done, I usually like to go straight in with eyebrows. I usually start with the bottom of the brow and kind of just go with the general shape that it's going. And then since my brows kind of stop here and don't have a tail, I draw in a tail that just kind of goes down at that point. Usually I forget to breathe when I do this part, so now, parallel to that line, I'll kind of go on the top of the brow and try and make it as straight as possible. I'm actually going in right now with the Urban Decay Brow Blade, and this is in the shade Ginger Snap. I kind of need them to have a little bit of a reddish undertone. So once I have that parallel line drawn on top, that's when I connect the end of the tail. So I'm gonna take this brush, which is a A7 brush, and dip right on into the, ooh, a fellow queen, the Vivien's collaboration with Be Perfect Cosmetics. Filthy, but it's your one-stop shop. So I'm gonna go right in with this contour shade. I'm literally just going over, like I said, this is the powder version of the cream contour and all that jazz that we did earlier. So I'm just going over those same areas. Then again, under the jawline, Botox hasn't quite set in there, so that muscle is still going strong. So we gotta bring it down a little bit with the contour. Using the Hoola bronzer, the contour was to shape, the bronzer's to warm. I'll do this on the whole outer perimeter of my face. It's not like insanely pigmented, so like you can kind of just go ham. It literally is just to warm the face up. If I could keep one trend from the 80s, you know what I miss? I don't miss it, I never experienced this. I wasn't alive in the 80s, but I wish that shoulder pads were still around because every time I look at a fierce from the 80s and they've just got, their body is just shaped like a triangle. There's just something that makes you look so dainty when your head is this tiny and your shoulders are that big. Now it's time for blush, which this is the 80s, so buckle up, sisters. It's gonna be a pink one today. I'm literally just going back in to this palette and I'm gonna dig my brush into these 4 hot pink shades. When you think it's too much, it's probably not enough. Oh my God, look at that. Are you ready? There's no such thing as like a light-handed touch with blush when it comes to the 80s. Even get it on the corner of the eyes, get it into the temples, even get it in the hairline, you know? It's been a minute since I've done like full high 80s glam, but I missed it. My drag has moved eras as I've gone along. Right now I feel very like 90s, 2000s, Linda Evangelista kind of vibes. Wow, look at that. Where was I? Ugh, eyeballs, we have to do our eyeballs now. We're gonna be doing a garage door shadow and y'all are gonna be gooped and gagged when you find out how easy this little number is. It's gonna get messy, so I like to take some loose setting powder, the same Fenty one we used before, put it underneath my eyes so that any fallout that we get, we can just dust right away. And I'll also take it on the side of my nose, just to kind of sharpen that nose contour a little bit. Dipping into this blue, tap off a little of the excess, and just go right into the center of the lid. This shadow is gonna be very much diffused out into the pink blush, so it'll be like a marriage of pink to purple to blue. That to me is very 80s, but you know, I've done green before, purple, obviously. You would probably take it to like just above your crease area. And if you are a drag queen that covers your eyebrows and your eyebrows are next to your hairline, that's probably a good 4 inches above your crease. But today we're doing real girl. You don't need to be delicate with this. I feel like the most authentic 80s look is kind of messy. It's a little imperfect. I'm gonna go right back in with the same electric blue brush and go right on the lower lash line. And then once I've kind of packed down the lower lash line, that's when I will take what's ever left over on the brush and kind of bring it up out towards the temples. I wouldn't say like the 80s is known for winged out things, but I just like that look because it pulls you out and makes you kind of look like you've been yanked, even if you already have. I'll probably go in with like the hottest pink that I can. Take it right up against that blue, bring it kind of in a little bit, and you can kind of see it's like just creating a purple. And then once I do this, I go back in with the blue just to pack it on. I have it. This is, what is this? House Laboratories. Thank you, Lady Gaga, for sending me this. How satisfying was that? Let's do that again. But I'm gonna place that right in the waterline. I used to be terrified of this, but now that I do it every day, it's just, might as well be scratching my eyeball with my own nail. I like to take my lash curler, set it on fire. Yep, it's basically the same technique as using a curling iron on your hair. Tap it with your finger, make sure you don't burn your eyeball off, which has happened before. And then you just go right in and curl your lashes up to share. So this is by Charlotte Tilbury. It's called the Pillow Talk push-up lashes. I don't know, I think that the process of doing this to me is just so feminine, and I have really comfortably sat in that this past year and felt very comfortable that way, so it just works. And I honestly feel prettier now than I did when I was like fully painting on the white liner and cutting the crease and like drag, like doing drag, you know? Now I feel just pretty, I feel like the hormones are working, mama. My last step will be lashes, and then you'll see like, oh, it all makes sense. So I'm going to slap some glue on them. Oh my God, one time I accidentally used nail glue, which is for all practical purposes, super glue, like Gorilla Glue. Ooh, not a good decision. So while that is setting and drying, I'm gonna go ahead and do lips right now. So I'm gonna go in right now with the Kimchi Chic Beauty lip liner, mostly just following the shape of my lip. I like to make them a little bit narrower than they naturally are, so it's just kind of like high here, and then not quite a Betty Boop lip, but similar. I feel like the lashes have dried enough. You don't want them to get too tacky. Usually when I put a lash on, I think a lot of people will like go straight in with the lash, but what I do is I'll like pinch the hairs and tilt it upward and just kind of drop it on the lash lines. And then once the outer corner is good and adhered, I'll go ahead and stick down the inner corner, kind of pinch the lashes together, the natural with the fake. As the lash glue is drying, kind of like to just push up the outer corners a bit, kind of pinch the lashes together. I did a collaboration with this brand called Christian Audette, and I got to make a collection of lipsticks. You can see it has a sticker on it because this was the first lab sample that I received in the mail, and I still use it because it's the best one. It's the perfect nude. It works on everybody. I will kind of just tap it on. You don't want a harsh line between the liner and the lipstick. The next step will help with that drastically, which of course is gloss. This is the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in Glass Slipper. See what I mean? I just look healthier now, you know? Definitely not a healthy person, but the gloss just makes that happen. So the last step, which I forgot earlier, this is actually the last step. I feel like I've said that the last several steps. So this is my favorite brush of all time. It's by, Morphe did a collaboration with Coca-Cola, which is kind of funny now that I think about it. I carry this little palette around. You're gonna laugh at me when you see what I do with this palette because I carry this huge thing around just for this step. I'll open this and go into this shade right in the upper corner and do a little dot on the tip of my nose and then a little line right on the bridge. Take my finger and kind of blend that out a little bit. And that is why I carry this big palette around everywhere I go, just for that little nose highlight, you know? When I am doing an 80s moment, ooh, that's cute. It really helps if you're doing like an 80s inspired look. It helps to have a bang or something short in the front that you can kind of use as like a bit of fluffiness. It's like borderline mullet, but not quite. So we'll brush it back like so, get it all nice and fluffy. You know what they say, the higher the hair, the closer to Cher. So you just kind of gotta tease it up. It kind of just looks like I'm wearing two different wigs on top of each other, but I kind of love it. All right, divas, that is the finished look. It's feeling very 80s inspired, executive. We got the shoulder pads, we got the curly hair. If you decide to recreate this look, please tag me, tag Allure. I would love to see it. I'm gonna go back to my hotel and take some fierce pictures. But until then, I'll see you next time. Bye.